This one here. This one.
This is.
Yeah, sorry, the one that looks like a mess. We just bought this house.
Next,
This one.
Yep, that's our abandoned house in Greece. You're probably wondering how a British couple with 5 kids and 1 dog ended up in this situation.
Hi, we're Chris and Joe.
1 year ago we launched our YouTube channel, Saving Sweet William, documenting our journey of restoring and renovating a house on the Greek island of Zakynthos whilst living 2,000 miles away in England.
Are you ready?
Yeah, come on, let's go.
With a simple mind, we should find some more time. We don't need to worry at all.
Wow, has it really only been 12 months?
We could have taken the easy option, you know, bought a smaller flat that needed no work and just went on Zante to have holidays.
Yeah, but where's the challenge in that? Any regrets?
Nope, no regrets.
Second chance, we don't need to worry at all.
Nobody said it was going to be easy, but I guess when we first saw Villa Sweet William back in January 2023, we knew that we were going to have a lot of work to do.
People thought we were crazy, commuting from England to the Greek island of Zante to renovate and restore a villa that had been abandoned for many years.
But here we are, 2 people that rarely use social media, putting ourselves out there and documenting the whole journey on YouTube while slowly growing our little channel with you, our incredible community of viewers.
There's been highs, lows and everything in between. We've completed projects successfully on time and pushed others right until the very last second, almost missing our flight home and having to get a private car from the terminal to the plane.
That was close.
Close call.
Let's jump into a year's worth of highlights from our crazy year on the incredible Greek island of Zakynthos.
Villa Sweet William had sat uncared for and unloved for several years before we arrived. The garden was badly overgrown, but as summer was just around the corner, we knew we needed to provide the family with a place to cool off.
The swimming pool had its own adventure from the UK by plane, which you can check out in some of our previous videos.
We chose this spot as it offers the most privacy and the rectangular boundary felt like it provided a good fit.
We began clearing and levelling the area in the middle of July, which is the hottest time on the island.
It was great to see the area looking clearer and tidy and starting to get a feel for how it was going to look.
The next step was sourcing the wood, which was an adventure in itself. We ended up at a timber yard near the airport, speaking to a really helpful lady who happened to live in our neighbourhood. She arranged everything perfectly, and the next day, the wood was delivered.
The sun reflecting in her eyes as I was standing hypnotized. Her laughter when she turned around knocked me over to the ground.
Time was against us as we were heading back home and had a plane to catch. We were waiting for the water tanks to refill. On this trip, we discovered that our village has a water ration in the summer months. We desperately needed to reach the pump level before we left for home. Otherwise, we faced a green pool when we were set to return.
Luckily, the water reached the level for the pump just in time. Unfortunately, we were able to finish the project and enjoy a lovely Greek summer in the swimming pool. We're off to see a man about an air conditioning unit.
Another project we tackled this year was installing a couple of air conditioning units into our second and third bedrooms.
Thanks to the power of social media, we met a lovely couple who were selling their units from their guest house in Latakia. Using some really rudimentary tools, we cut holes in the wall, ready for the vents. As is the Greek way, our neighbour called a beer break and came to see what I was up to.
Hey,
Morning.
how are you? Oh, thank you. How hot?
Good.
Hot.
How you going? Busy, eh?
So the neighbours just come and say hello. Bought me a beer. I've not had breakfast yet though, so yeah, I might leave that for now.
The aircon units worked like a charm. We had family over and a packed villa. There's no way we could have done this without these units. Our little villa sits on a concrete pad that was constructed in the 1980s.
The house is designed to withstand the seismic activity that takes place in this part of the world, and it's doing a great job, but cosmetically it needed our urgent attention, so we got stuck in right away.
And I won't stop, I won't slow down.
We took a trip to the island via a long drive from Athens in January. We figured this would be the best time to do this type of work, as it would be able to dry slowly without the intense heat bearing down on it.
We spoke to the guys at the local hardware store and settled on using a cement repair product that allows the wall to breathe, hopefully preventing any further decaying in the future.
Yeah, I am on my way. I won't slow down.
The front of the house was being really let down by the state of the shutters. These were originally beautiful pieces of woodwork that had sadly been left to rot.
We knew the villa deserved to look so much better, so we set about repairing them as best we could until we found the budget to replace them. It's amazing how just a little bit of patching up and paintwork really changed the look of the whole property.
Villa Sweet William was truly beginning to come back to life.
Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop. It is my time.
In late spring, I took a trip to Zante to get a few jobs done and have a bit of a break from the UK. I set about brightening up the front wall of the house. It looked very sorry for itself, covered in moss and dirt and screaming out to be painted. Armed with a fresh roller, a new pot of paint, and under the watchful eye of our neighbours, who lent me some tools, I did the very best job I could and hopefully added curb appeal to the house.
Meanwhile, in the UK, we began restoring our abandoned house sign. Finished article.
Welcome to Villa Sweet William.
Big moment coming up for us. This sign has done some mileage, hasn't it?
Yeah, we found this, as I'm sure you've seen, buried in the garden in the villa,
Yep.
and we didn't have time to paint it whilst we were here, so it travelled all the way back to the UK with us. Sat in our house for about 6 months because we didn't come find a moment to do it, and then decided we needed to get it back out here and done. So here it is, back in Greece.
Just to hear your voice on the phone, I think of you, and I'm not alone. You are everything under the sky so blue.
Yay!
I found my piece of heaven, spending my days with you.
There we go.
Yeah, no.
It's definitely a yay. Well done.
My piece of heaven.
One thing that was letting the back garden down was the shed. It had been built absolutely solidly, but sadly it had been left to decay.
We wanted to incorporate the rough-looking render finish that you find on the Greek islands, and set about the task of bringing this lovely little building back to life.
We rendered the walls, repaired the woodwork and restored the ironwork until the whole building was vibrantly brought back to life.
Under the sky so blue, I found my piece of heaven.
We've still got more to do on this building, but we're so happy with how it looks right now.
You are my piece of heaven.
We have a following of furry friends that come to visit us at the villa.
The first one that greeted us was Giselle. She really made the whole experience of settling into the villa really fun.
There's also Lily, a little bit more reserved, but usually a packet of ham brings her out of her shell a bit.
Our community has a lot of cats, and I'm sure they're really happy every time we arrive back from shopping with tins of sardines for them.
And then there's the sheep. We love hearing their bells ringing as the owner shepherds them along the road on his moped. Such a funny sight. They also appear in the olive groves at the back at certain times of the year, which is a really nice sight. And we enjoy just sitting out there watching them eating the long grass.
Yeah, we really love seeing the animals on the island, don't we? And you actually volunteered at Zante Strays, didn't you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed going and spending time with the stray dogs, helping out the charity and making new friends there as well. It's been a really special experience.
Have you do it again this year?
Absolutely, I hope so.
At certain times of the year, the commute can take a long time. When the direct flights end, we've chosen to fly into Athens, hire a car and drive to the port of Kyllini to get a ferry over to the island.
We love the ferry experience. Watching the island appear on the horizon as you arrive is pretty mesmerising and definitely the highlight of that whole journey.
Coming in on a plane from the south of the island is a lovely experience as Jerikas appears on the horizon.
Followed by the rugged beaches of the southwest coast before flying over the resort of Kalamaki, which always brings a smile to our faces.
Now for me, one of the highlights of life in Greece is being able to just jump on a scooter and ride around in the gorgeous Greek sunshine.
We've been fortunate enough to meet a couple who have now become friends. Dionysus and Natasha from Golden Mile Rentals, who greet us at the airport with a bike each time we arrive.
I could fall in love with you right here, right now.
We love to explore the island. We stumbled across the Goumas winery before heading to the breathtaking Venetian castle.
I could fall in love with you.
From the turquoise waters and rugged cliffs of the north to the beautiful harbour in the south, Zante truly has some stunning scenery.
The Olive Press Museum was an absolutely fantastic place to spend a couple of hours and is totally free to enter.
Stop by to find out the history of the island's liquid gold and maybe pick up a souvenir on your way out.
Walking around Zante is something we really enjoy doing together. The wide open town square is full of life and laughter every evening and leads to the bustling but laid back high street full of shops, restaurants and chic cafes.
There's a story here. Why not find out how it goes?
One thing you really need to do if you're here is get up and watch the Greek sun rising from the east.
I could fall in love with you right here, right now. Yeah, I could fall in love with you.
The island is full of restaurants. They are incredible. A great idea is to find out where the locals eat and head there too.
Our neighbour tipped us off about DuroStick, a restaurant in a village just to the north of us, and we've been enjoying dining there ever since.
One of our favourite beaches is located at the end of a fun but possibly hair-raising cliff edge drive.
Daphne Beach is rugged and beautiful, lined with unassuming tavernas, turtle nesting areas and of course crystal clear waters.
The kids and I took a boat trip snorkeling to Ionian Islands. It's really worth your time going out and having a swim. Zante now feels really familiar to us, but the exciting thing is there's still so much we haven't explored. Over the winter we have been focusing on our design series while we haven't been able to be in Greece.
We have a huge amount of projects left to do and we can't wait for the work to begin. We've looked at incorporating traditional Greek designs such as krokalia into our driveway.
Our kitchen is small but functional, and we have enjoyed exploring AI-driven design, as well as going back through some beautiful old Greek design books that really showcase the country's heritage.
Our outside space is very generous and a project we are looking forward to starting is the patio. We measured up and made a fantastic mock-up of our garden on a CAD design program called SmartDraw.
We really do enjoy mixing modern technology into our renovation whilst keeping as much tradition as possible. We've used AI design tool Midjourney extensively on our projects.
We found it very useful to conjure up images of our spaces, and we found lots of inspiration that we'll definitely be carrying into our real life renovation. We're currently in the middle of a DIY woodworking series on our channel. We rescued some big old shutters from a house in the UK that we are resizing and renovating to fit on Villa Sweet William. The next adventure will be getting them over to Greece and fitting them onto the house before repurposing the existing shutters into a new life over there.
On New Year's Day 2025, the most incredible thing happened. We received an email from somebody really important, and the email was titled, "My Granddad Built Your Villa." It was just a sensational thing to receive, and we have some exciting things to bring to you.
The power of social media. Yeah, one day somebody in the family that built our villa was scrolling YouTube, just decided to type in Greek renovation, and there we were.
You who found the videos in the first place, our channel on YouTube.
When I sit down and look at YouTube, I was looking at somebody got somewhere in Ireland, and because we had that small holding, and I particularly looked at the small people gone to Spain, gone to Ireland, gone to Portugal, and doing up an old house. Somebody come to Wales, and I just suddenly sat there. I thought, I wonder if there's anybody in Greece. And I put house renovation in Greece instead of, and 2 or 3 down, I see Sweet William. I said, I can't believe this. He said, what? I said, there's a house here in Greece being renovated called Villa Sweet William, or Sweet William. I said, it can't be.
And we spoke about some amazing things, didn't we? They told us about picking the villa from a brochure, which was incredible.
The guy we bought the land off of he sold us the land, and he put us in touch with a cousin, as they do over there, with a cousin who was a builder, and his cousin had this big factory in Athens where they made these, like, you would call IKEA houses. And we picked it out of, like we said, we picked it out of a catalogue.
Incredible story, wasn't it?
Yeah. They told us about how the villa was constructed and how it fares and had to fare for regulations against earthquakes, which was really good to know.
So interesting. Such an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
There's a wood wall, and then on the outside it is metal.
Like mesh.
Mesh. Yeah, and then they plaster over that. So when the earthquake comes, the house just goes like an aeroplane wing. If it didn't move, it would crack.
And we found out that they followed a similar path to us. They took a holiday in Zante one year and just fell in love with the place.
They did. They visited the island, loved it, and decided that's where they wanted to be.
And they just went all in. The whole family went, and that was that.
Whilst we thought we were quite cutting edge and out there doing something different, actually they were doing it 40 odd years before us.
Well, we were still yay high.
Yeah. Not so cutting edge after all.
But we love your energy. We think to ourselves now, if we walked into that, what would we do? But we were like you, because I was 45 when I went out, and you were 38. And of course we were like you, we were full of energy, Yeah. But God, what you did to it, it was just bring it back to life. It's just amazing.
In such a short space of time. That's
you just get on with it and do it.
do work very hard.
So if you're interested in hearing the full story of Villa Sweet William, we're going to be bringing a full interview with the family to you at some point in the very near future. So please stay tuned for that, because it's so interesting, wasn't it? Okay, so that is our first year on YouTube. It's been such an adventure. We were never social media people before, and we've had to throw ourselves in completely. Thank you for all of the positive feedback you give us each and every week. We've got some amazing people that watch our show, and we really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We truly do, and we keep doing it because your feedback is amazing. So thank you for helping us document our journey.
If you've been with us from the start, thank you very much. If you're just joining us now, welcome. We hope you enjoy the show. And here's to another 12 months on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Let's see what the next 12 months brings.
Come along with us.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.